Hey guys, Second Act Comeback here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about self-reflection and why it's so important. You know guys, I'm going to have a transparent moment with you, and I'm going to tell you that yesterday was one of the, it was absolutely the hardest day of my entrepreneurial journey. I had a really challenging day. Severe IT issues. My website went down. I couldn't get the funnel to work correctly. There were some things I have to do on social media to make sure that once the funnel was launched, we're communicating effectively. That wasn't working. And in this entrepreneurial space, it was very easy for me in my past life. I could just call IT. I could submit an IT ticket, and then it became somebody else's problem. But yesterday, that was not the case. This was a launch that was taking place today. I had already advertised it. We had put it out there. So I had failure was not an option. It had to launch. And I'll tell you, it started about 10 a.m., 10:30, and I dealt with this thing until about 1:15 in the morning yesterday. And I allowed myself to get very frustrated. I allowed myself to get really worked up because it was, because in this new world we live in, you can't call and you can't talk to real people. I'm on the line with these chat bots and I'm trying to explain IT issues, things that I don't understand. And it's about coding and all of these really serious IT issues that I am trying to email and chat. And I don't quite understand it myself, yet I'm trying to explain to somebody on the other end. And it wasn't just one system, it was 3 systems. And I'll tell you, today, as I was self-reflective, because I had to sit back and say, wow, let's talk about yesterday. How did you handle your frustration? And to be very honest with you, I did not handle it well. I cried 3 different times, and I allowed myself to get into what I call a suffering state. A suffering state is not a state of empowerment. It is a state of frustration. It is a state that does not serve you. And it's a state where sometimes you feel sorry for yourself. And I started to feel sorry for myself. Now, I caught myself, but I still had those moments. And it carried throughout the day. And it made me, I was short with people. There was just a level of frustration as I navigated through these waters. With that being said, the first tip I have for today is self-reflection. Dedicate time to go back and assess your performance, assess your attitude, assess your day. I daily journal. I daily sit down and focus on things that are, that have gone well, things that haven't gone well. And one thing I had to be honest about was the way I handled myself yesterday. So as I focused on my attitude and the way that I dealt with the frustration, I had to be honest and pinpoint some of the opportunities, because I did allow myself to get frustrated, because I did allow myself to get short, because I did allow myself to, be in this suffering state, which takes you further from your goal than it brings you into your goal, into alignment. So the first point I have is make and take dedicated time for you to assess. The second thing you want to do when you are assessing and reflecting on previous day, your performance, your results, whatever it is, ask yourself some open, honest, open-ended questions. Hey, when this happened yesterday, how did you handle it? And why did you handle it that way? Because the goal is to get at the core of what your thinking is, so that if there's some old habits or some unhealthy habits and some unhealthy thinking patterns, you will uproot those things. And I think for me, I was able to assess and acknowledge that, because I feel a certain amount of pressure and because I feel a certain amount of urgency to see results, it was these issues that it seemed like they were not going to be resolved there was fear. There was concern that, when I say something, I keep my word. And now that I have put some things out there that we were going to be launching, what was it going to look like? So there was a fear of failure. And when I assessed those fears, when I assessed those concerns, now I'm able to say, okay, what is the technique we're going to use to approach those things? Number one, you never lose, you never fail, you're always learning. So even if the outcome wasn't what you anticipated, what did you learn? Because that's the mindset of a winner. Number two, the panic and the concern with the sense of urgency with having to make this work, where is that coming from? It's coming from a place of fear and concern. Will there be enough? Which puts me back to the state of, what is the concern with scarcity? If I truly believe that God meets all my needs and that, He won't let me go out with what I need, why am I panicked that there won't be enough? So then I have to assess, do I believe as deeply what I say I believe as I do? And then correct that mindset. So the second thing that reassessing and evaluating, how you handle things or your day, it allows you to come up with some honest assessments of where you really truly are. And then the third thing I want to talk about is, so when I recognize and acknowledge that fear of failure and fear of not enough were really at the root of how I handled it, then I have to say, where do I need to continue to work my understanding, develop my understanding, get more truth on the inside of me, so that when I am confronted with those things subconsciously and I don't even know what's going on, then the knowledge and the information on the inside of me is going to rise up. So, I don't think it's a bad thing to acknowledge where you are. And the most important thing is, once you acknowledge where you are and once you acknowledge that there's opportunities and you need more work, then I think we need to take the steps to get it done. So again, today, guys, is about self-assessment, why it's important to take time to reflect on our day, our attitude, the results that we're seeing, and the way we handle things. 2, ask yourself some honest, open-ended questions so you can get to the root of what's really going on. And then 3, take actionable steps to correct wrong thinking and wrong behavior. That being said, that's all I have for today. Guys, make it a great day.